Carolyn Dube here. Today I'm making a birthday card on deli paper. Using a portfolio crayon there, getting the general outline of the cake. I'm going to come in with some heavy-bodied acrylic paint, and I am just going to paint over that. Don't really like my outline exactly yet, so I can add a little more to it. Nobody will know but you and me. And I'm going to come back around with more portfolio crayon to give it some outline. And of course, there's just not enough color there. Turns out portfolio yellow doesn't work well over white paint, so I'm just going to have to go get yellow paint to do what I wanted. And I am just adding some colors on here. I'm playing around. Again, I'd like to tell you that I have this deep plan with this, but no, there is no real plan here. This is just kind of a see what happens. If I don't like how it goes, I can just wipe stuff off. I can start again. It's just deli paper, so there's no real stress or pressure for me. Now, some people like to wait for paint to dry. I'm not one of those people, so that's why I keep working with wet paint and putting portfolio crayons over wet paint, because I just don't want to wait for things to dry. It's that patience thing. So I've got my general cake done here. And now I'm going to put some candles on it. And for this, I wanted to go with some colors of washi tape. The tape that I'm using here is from Amy over at Artsyville. And I couldn't decide which colors to do. But here's the beauty of it. This stuff is not locked in stone. Or written in stone. You know what I mean. That orange, I just didn't really like the orange there. So I took it off. No big deal. I'll use that piece of tape and something else. And I couldn't even decide how many candles I wanted. I thought I wanted 3. But that'll change because I just wasn't happy. My cake feels very lopsided, so I'm hoping I can kind of even it out with a few more candles. Now, I could leave these candles just the way they are, but that's just not me. I've got to add more stuff to it. So I'm going to take some of the portfolio crayons and just trace around my candles to give them a little more definition. I want to get some super fine details in this, so to do that, I'm going to use a fine line applicator, and it's this awesome container that has a metal tip, and I've got high flow paints in there, so I can actually write with paint very smoothly, very easily. Mary Beth Shaw turned me onto these when I was down at Random Arts. If you're near Random Arts, I know they've got them for sale, and I'll also have a link over on the blog if you're interested in that. I wanted to get some scribble writing into this, and so this is going to become the base to go underneath the birthday cake because the deli paper is translucent. So I'm doing a whole bunch of scribble journaling here, all about the birthday person, and when I put that on, I realized I don't like it. So I'm going over this with one of the portfolio crayons, and then I'm going to hit it with water and blend it around. Now I'm going to see if that gives me the look that I want when I put the deli paper back on top. And not really. Wasn't exactly what I was thinking. So I'm just going to grab some orange paint and squirt that over it. And this is everything's pretty wet here. And that'll work to my advantage because you know what? I'm not going to wait for this to dry. I'm going to put a little more paint and I'm just going to stick this thing down. Now that the stuff that I wrote with the fine liner in the high flow paint, it's still pretty wet, so I'm going to have to be careful not to run my hands over that. And I'm going to add some white fine line to make the flame stand out. Now, if your tip clogs up at all, the cool part about this is there is this big metal thingy that goes into the tip, which makes these super cool, so it unclogs them right away. Well, I need to get some kind of happy birthday something on here. So I am going to use my vintage typewriter alphabet here and a portfolio crayon. Portfolio crayons are very creamy, very soft, so I can push them through here, and I'm actually going to put the word happy. Nice part about this is you don't have to wait for anything to dry. That said, I can still always manage to get smudges and smears in places. So I'm going along this, and my happy is perfectly lined up, or at least as perfectly as I get, going straight across, but my cake is not. And I was trying to decide if that was going to bother me or not, and you know what? I'm going to call that an oops that makes me very happy. All I'm going to do now is trim it up to even it up, and that's the beauty. Just trim off some of the sides, and all of a sudden, everything's positioned just right. Well, thanks for watching this video. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you've got friends that you think would enjoy seeing this, I'd love it if you'd share it with them. You can find links to all the things mentioned in this video over on my blog at acolorfuljourney.com or down below in the description for the YouTube video. Thank you for being a part of this colorful journey.